In June of 2025, the ICT export figures of Bangladesh were released for the fiscal year by the Bangladesh Bank and the Bangladesh Association of Software and Information Services. It totaled to 724.6 million US dollars. This number stands in stark contrast to the national target set under the Digital Bangladesh Vision, which was 5 billion US dollars by 2025. This shortfall is not marginal. It represents a gap of over 85% between the target and the outcome. In spite of that, this is not a story of stagnation. The freelancer earnings on global platforms remain among the highest in the world. Startups like Bcash and Shiho continue to attract international attention. The country's software and IT-enabled service sector is widely regarded as one of the most promising non-garments exports. So the central question becomes, why did a sector with strong foundations, global recognition, and top-level policy support fall so far short of its targets? The answer lies not in talent shortages, but in systemic execution gaps. As a Pakistani, I don't claim to speak on behalf of Bangladesh, but I hope the research done in this video will speak for itself. These figures are sourced entirely from official Bangladesh institutions, export reports, and public policy documents. The analysis that follows draws exclusively from publicly available data published by local agencies of Bangladesh, ICT Divisions, BASIS, Bangladesh Bank, and national media. Pakistan's IT sector performance is referenced only where relevant to broader regional trends and not as a benchmark. It must be stated that the previously mentioned $5 billion target was not set arbitrarily. It had emerged from the third phase of Digital Bangladesh strategy, which was launched with bipartisan support and institutional backing from bodies like A2I Program and Bangladesh Computer Council. In this, following key enablers were promised: over 100 technology parks, tax exemptions for IT exports, streamlined foreign exchange clearance, national digital skills certification. Yet by the fiscal year 24 to 25, only 21 technology parks had been made operational. Foreign exchange clearance for IT firms was still averaging 30 to 45 days, which is far slower than regional peers. Tax exemptions do exist on paper, but implementation remains inconsistent across jurisdictions. Meanwhile, 87% of Bangladesh ICT exports came from low-end computer services. These include freelancing, outsourcing, and contract development. This is a strength, but also a vulnerability. Service exports are highly sensitive to global payment frictions, platform policy changes, and macroeconomic shocks. According to 2025 BASIS industry survey, 68% of IT export firms cited payment clearance delays as their top operational challenge. One Dhaka-based founder told the Daily Star, "We deliver software to clients in Germany, but it takes 6 weeks to get paid. By then, the next cycle has already begun, and we have to fund it from our savings." Infrastructure gaps have been compounding the issue. The World Bank did an assessment of Bangladesh's digital economy in 2025. It noted that only 42% of potential IT hubs outside of Dhaka have reliable high-speed internet and uninterrupted electricity, which is critical for 24/7 global delivery. talent is abundant in the country. Over 60,000 CS graduates emerge annually, but conversion to high-value product companies remains rather low. This ecosystem excels at providing services, but it struggles to generate its own products. This isn't for lack of trying though. Initiatives like Innovative Design and Entrepreneurship Academy and Idea 2.0 have trained thousands. But without easier access to global payment rails and patient capital, most graduates default to freelancing and overseas employment. On the other side, Pakistan's IT exports have reached 3.8 billion in the fiscal year of 24 to 25, according to Pakistan's Software Export Board. This represents 18% year-over-year growth and a record high. However, this figure too hides an unpleasant reality. Over 80% of Pakistan's exports come from freelancing and IT-enabled services, the same model dominant in Bangladesh. When Pakistan faced foreign exchange restrictions in 23 to 24, IT export growth stalled temporarily. It resumed only after emergency measures streamlined digital payments. The implication should be clear. Service-led export models are powerful, yet they are fragile. Both countries remain at the risk of external shock unless they build product-oriented revenue, recurring, scalable, and less dependent on per-project payments. This is not a competition, but a shared regional challenge. Some firms in Bangladesh have navigated these barriers successfully. bKash has built a $2 billion fintech platform by leveraging local regulatory support and mobile penetration. Pijo has created a regional edtech product by focusing on subscription revenue, not one-off contracts. Paperfly has scaled logistics software by targeting intra-Asian markets with simpler payment terms. Here, common threads seem to emerge. Adopt a product-first mindset over providing services. Focus on regional markets like Middle East, North Africa, and Southeast Asia over sole reliance on Western clients. Innovate payment workarounds, including intermediary accounts and escrow services. Policy adjustments could accelerate this shift, simplifying forex rules for sub-$50,000 contracts, creating dedicated export facilitation cells, and fast-tracking tech parks utilities would address the top bottlenecks identified by BASIS. Most importantly, the $5 billion target may have been premature, but the general direction is correct. The goal should not be abandoned, it should be recalibrated with execution realism. Bangladesh did not fail because of lack of talent, vision, or effort. It fell short because execution infrastructure lagged behind ambition. The most consequential insight from the data is this: targets matter less than the feedback loops. When implementation gaps became evident, the system did not adapt quickly enough. A more agile approach that includes quarterly export reviews, dynamic policy tweaks, founder roundtables with regulators would close the gap faster than grand announcements. As one BASIS report quietly noted, the digital economy is built transaction by transaction, not target by target. For the tech sector in Bangladesh, the next milestone is not $5 billion. It is building systems that turn vision into velocity. One cleared payment, one shipped product, one retained founder at a time. If you found this video interesting and helpful, do like, share, and subscribe. If you appreciate such objective analysis of regional tech sector, then consider checking out our previous videos.